Hello, my name is Paul Briant and I'm with South Coast Yachts, the Beneteau dealer in San Diego, and I'm going to do a video walkthrough on my 2003 Hunter 466 Narnie O'Shea and show you some of the features and layout and the reasons why this boat would make a great liveaboard or blue water cruising boat. So starting at the bow, Narnie O'Shea has a profile jib furler and large CQR anchor, and got a second anchor for stern anchor and lots of good anchoring gear. She does have a life raft. This life raft does need a service. Salon in-mast furling, and this boat has the dive-form rigging. You can see here it's kind of in between rod rigging and wire. Very low stretch, high quality. Rigging is in excellent shape. The whole boat overall is in very good shape. She's just recently been buffed and waxed. Nice Dodger Bimini connector. Of course, she has the arch, and the main sheet is sheeted to that arch. Some good lockers back here for storage. It's part of the water maker down here, and propane lockers either side, so there is a spare propane tank. She has this really nice radar post at the back of the boat, and that has a dinghy outboard motor lift. As you can see, 2 floodlights, spare GPS antenna, and a spare VHF antenna. We usually put those on a Stinger. If you were ever dismounted, you would have a second VHF antenna there, and single sideband antenna on a shroud there, or stay. 2 outboard motors, Mercury 6 horsepower 4-stroke and a Mercury 15 4-stroke. This post is beautifully installed. See if we can get a shot of it in here. There's a single sideband tuner and big block that it's mounted on. You could definitely tow another boat with that. And of course it has nice mounts for the outboards, very sturdy. Of course, nice walk-through transom, and you have hot and cold swim shower here, access to your emergency tiller and emergency manual bilge pump. Very spacious cockpit, easy to walk around the wheel, and she has these bottom side of cushions which are really cushy and comfy, and also make the cockpit look really nice. They're also good flotation in an emergency. Start tossing those overboard. As far as electronics at the helm go, you've got your autopilot control, a Raymarine RL80 color chart plotter radar, multifunction display. Shift is really easy to hand here, so if you were backing the boat up, you can turn around and steer from this position. Engine console right here, and there are currently 1,300 hours roughly on the engine, and they add a oil pressure gauge and temperature gauge right here. There's also a fire extinguisher mounted in the engine with an automatic shutdown on it. Also alarms for visual and audible alarms for over temperature, low oil pressure, that type of thing. She also has a remote VHF here with the ICOM VHF radio. Of course, the wonderful feature of these boats is the transom seats, stern rail seats here. One of the best views in the house. I'll show you that view from here forward. Really nice underway. As far as control lines are concerned, you've got your traveler control line here for the main sheet, which is really nice. In case of being overpowered, you can very easily depower the main with that. And then all the lines are led back to the cockpit, to clutches, port and starboard, and of course sheet and halyard winches, port and starboard. Forward of that, in front of the companionway, you have your Raymarine ST60 depth, wind and speed instruments. Those are really nice line of sight in front of the helmsman, so good visibility there. Then moving forward, I'll just do a quick walk around on deck. The Dodger, the canvas in general is probably getting towards the end of its life. Still got probably a couple of years in it, but probably will need to be replaced in the next few years. But the frame is very well done. You've got handholds all along here to make it easy to walk forward. Clear open decks. There's a solar panel up here. This solar panel only charges the engine start battery, so if you're leaving the boat unattended for long periods, if it's not plugged into shore power or on a mooring, that engine start battery will always be charged, and so you can always start the engine. Sildine in-mast furling. Everything's in very good shape. A lot of these control lines, the running rigging has been recently replaced. No crazing on these hatches, very nice and clean. As you can see, very deep anchor windlass. Lots of chain and rode. I have in the specs, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I think there's about 300 feet of chain and then rode as well. And Horizon 1500 electric windlass. The nice thing with this is you've got a gypsy and a capstan, so you can run 2 anchors on here. So that's the on deck walk around, and we can go below and take a look at that. So as we go below on Narnie O'Shea, you'll notice that this 466 has a very gently sloping companionway ladder with a handrail on the side, so it makes it very comfortable to negotiate even under heavy conditions. So I'll do a quick walkthrough of the interior just to show you the layout, some of the basic features, and then I'll come back and show you some of the more technical features such as water makers and the electronics and that kind of thing. So immediately to port is the L-shaped galley, just a wonderful galley for preparing food underway with lots of counter space. This is all Corian solid surface countertops with good molded fiddles with nice clean outs in the corners. Very, very large freezer, 12-volt freezer system. This also has a fan in it to circulate the cooled air from the condenser, and one of the biggest refrigerators that you'll find on any boat in its class, with top loading and front loading. Very, very nice refrigerator setup. Microwave. They've created this shelf to take advantage of the space up here for glasses and bowls, as you see. Plenty of cupboard space, and a 3-burner Force 10 stove with, of course, oven and broiler. And then dual deep stainless steel sink right here, and just a nice amount of space to be able to cook in rough conditions and have something to lean against while you're cooking. Just abaft to the galley, this is a 3-cabin, 2-head boat. So we have the port guest cabin, good sized berth, nice cupboards and bulkhead to lean on when you're underway, when the boat's heeled over. Ports for good ventilation and plenty of light, and very, very good engine access right here to the 75 horsepower Yanmar, and we'll look at that in more detail in a little bit. To starboard of the companionway we have the head and shower, so shower stall here, which is also has the head in it. It's a freshwater vacuum flush toilet, quiet and very economical on water. This head and shower can be used as a day head for guests, and then the starboard guest cabin right here. Again, plenty of ports for light and ventilation. Very, very well laid out. Of course, large cupboard spaces, and as is typical on the Hunters, you have the cedar lining in there, and access to the starboard side of the engine right here. Actually, this is access to the genset, the Northern Lights generator. Nice little feature on the Hunters, you have a bin here, so when people come down below and they're dripping water, all the water can drip into this pan and put your wet foul weather gear, sea boots, that kind of thing. There is access right here, quick access to the top of the 75 horsepower Yanmar. There's our nav station, very good forward facing nav station with a large nav table here. Take full size charts, very, very comfortable curved seat, and all your electronics and your breakers easy to hand. Your Salon cream leather Salon. This leather was replaced about 1.5 years ago, so it's still in excellent condition. I'll give you a close-up shot of that. A little bit of wear, but still in superb condition. Of course, this bed is convertible and makes into a bunk, so there's a filler cushion that goes there. This island seat can also be removed if one wishes, and then of course you have these two seats here. Wonderful entertainment system, Bose stereo DVD player with surround sound speakers. It also has a subwoofer and of course flat screen TV. Going into the forward master cabin, you actually have 2 doors here, but only one is really needed. And of course, queen size centerline island berth makes getting in and out of bed really, really easy for each person. And good reading lights, 2 big hatches here to let in light and air, lots of ventilation, tons of cupboard space, cedar lined hanging lockers, shelves, and more to starboard. Yeah, this has its own TV in this cabin, and then there's also a lot of storage under the bunk, cedar lined again, and there's a water tank on the forward part under the bunk, and then after that there's a large storage space, and Narnie show has a lot of spares for pumps and various items on the boat. A unique feature of the Hunter 466 is that the master cabin has a separate toilet here with its own vanity. Of course, a vacuum flush freshwater toilet, and then to starboard, the shower. And this has a seat that can go down so that you can shower sitting down if you're in rough conditions, or ladies shaving their legs, that kind of thing. And lights everywhere. So that's the general layout of the boat with some of the features, and now I'll go into a few more details on the electronics and other systems on the boat. So at the nav station, I'll start here with the 12 volt DC. You got an engine start battery switch here, anchor windlass breaker, and an inverter control switch here, so you can run the inverter off either battery 1 or battery 2, and you can run the DC panel off either battery 1 or battery 2. Actually a very, very nice system. She also has a little solar panel that charges the engine start battery. So even if your shore power comes unplugged, or you leave the boat on a mooring for a long period of time, the engine start battery will always be charged. She also has a Xantrex 2000 watt inverter with a 100 amp charger on it, and then your Northern Lights genset control here, and there's currently 377 hours on the generator. Starts first time, and that powers the Village Marine Tech water maker. And then you have your tank monitoring system right here that monitors the water tanks and holding tanks, and your ICOM VHF right there. There's also a repeater of that you'll see in the cockpit, and it has a speaker right here. This is your single sideband, and the single sideband has a Pactor modem, so you can send emails while you're at sea or in far off locations if there's no internet. Lots of spares everywhere, everything's labeled, great inventory of spares and equipment, spare batteries, all sorts of things like that stored on the boat. Good size nav station to store all those other little things. Carbon monoxide detectors in each cabin, and also smoke detectors in each cabin. As far as electronics go, you've also got a Raymarine RL80C large screen multifunction display that'll do chart, radar, GPS, chart overlays, radar overlays, all that kind of thing, everything you need. The Hunters also have a Pro Mariner galvanic isolator monitor that monitors the galvanic isolator, and if there's any problem with the ground system on the boat, they will let a little alarm off. Panels are very well laid out with your 12 volt DC on this side and 110 volt AC on this side. Very clear, very well marked, and easy to operate. So that shows you all the features of this Hunter 466 Narnie O'Shea. And again, my name is Paul Briant with South Coast Yachts, the Beneteau dealer in San Diego. And you can email me for more information at paul@scyachts.com. Thank you for watching.